So while my channel was offline, the 2018 Game Awards happened. I streamed it live with my roommate on my Twitch channel, which I did keep up and running during the 2 weeks that I was tack-feared off YouTube. That stream is up on my archive channel, by the way, along with all the others. At this point, though, I'm sure we've all seen this segment of the awards.
And the Game Award goes to Sonic Fox, everybody.
Sonic Fox won Best Esports Player of the Year, and good on him. But he spent his time on stage in his fursuit, mumbling into the microphone about how being a black gay furry made him the enemy of all things Republican.
Wow. I really won this shit. Oh my god. Hey, look, Mom. Guess all I gotta really say is that I'm gay, black, a furry, pretty much everything a Republican hates.
I love watching the Game Awards. Jeff, I know you try really hard to run a serious show, but something always seems to go off the rails every single time. But let's go beyond just laughing at this clown for the absurd display he put on. It really seems like progressive journalists wanted to make this guy a hill to die on. A black furry video gamer just won the world title, and instantly came out as gay. Came out as gay, like he hasn't been screeching about this as the only thing relevant to his personality. And that's where we get to the problem. Quick, without looking it up, can you remember what game Sonic Fox plays? Or the specifics of how he plays it? I can't. I watched the awards live. Hell, I re-watched it in making this video, and I still can't put my finger on it. But do I know that Sonic Fox is black, is gay, is a furry? You bet. Believe it or not, I'm actually a minority myself in a few ways. I don't bring it up constantly because they're usually not relevant to the situation, but also because I'd like to believe I have a more interesting personality than the boxes I can check off on the progressive stack. Your identity, your demographic, is not a substitute for having a personality. What you are is never going to be as important as who you are. The traits you were born with are never going to be as important as the choices you make. Imagine having all of those developmental years to shape a personality, and when you come out of it as an adult, all you can muster is, I like sex with the partners of my choice. This is why anybody with a brain makes fun of all those ridiculous social media bios that are loaded with pronouns and proclivities. The bio isn't actually saying anything. It's simply showing the person to be so boring and underdeveloped that they believe membership within a race or a gender or a class of people counts as being a fully fledged individual. I think this is why the progressives became enraged beyond comprehension back during the height of the NPC meme. It was a great shorthand way of describing the commonplace habit of substituting an actual personality for describing one's place on the identity politics hierarchy. But the choice not to cultivate a personality by these people isn't benign. Its effects don't end with them. This is just some armchair psychology, but I think a lot of them know and feel their deficiencies deep down, without really understanding what to do about it. That's why, whenever you dig into the past of any of these people, you almost invariably find violence and rage, or at least, the advocacy for it. Like Sonic Fox himself. His identity is black gay furry that Republicans hate, and his personality is support social justice men who attack pro-life women without provocation. Maybe if he focused less on identity and more on personality, he wouldn't feel the need to cheer on a public assault. But rather than do the hard work of journeying inside of themselves, and making the attempt to find out just what the hell is wrong with them, the progressives would rather double down. This gay black furry is Esports Player of the Year, and he's teaching the far right a lesson. What's the lesson? That people who rely on the superficial qualities of themselves are themselves superficial people? Ian Miles Chung and fellow right-wing YouTuber Jeremy the Quartering Hambly quickly tried to smear Sonic Fox by claiming he thinks it's cool to assault women after he enjoyed a video of a pro-life camera woman accidentally getting punched by a pro-choice activist. And this is how I know the author of this article, Anna Valens, probably has the same identity-personality problems. You have to be willfully blind to make that many mistakes. Ian and Jeremy aren't right-wing. They're not claiming anything about Sonic Fox. Sonic Fox said it himself in his tweet. The woman in the video was clearly not punched, and even more clearly, it was not an accident.
If someone was raped and she gave birth and she decided to kill her 3-year-old child.
I meant to get your phone! Meant to take your phone!
In any case, despite Sonic Fox's appearance at the Game Awards, as well as the show being generally more inclusive than ever before, SJWs on Twitter still weren't happy. Jeff tweeted, "Gaming has been marginalized and dismissed for far too long." Dirtbag Boyfriend tweeted in reply, "Marginalized and dismissed. This is what happens when we educate our oppressors. They use our language as a shield. I don't know what Jeff is posturing about, but people like him terrify me. White cis men nerds adopting the language of the oppressed would be ridiculous if it weren't so pervasive. And let me take a guess at what this dirtbag boyfriend's profile looks like. Yeah, exactly the type of garbage account I thought. Also, I'm blocked by him, and I've never even spoken to him before. I'm not surprised. I can recall during a previous Christmas season meeting up with a cousin of mine who had just had kids. I asked her how she was, and I shit you not, she said, "Oh, my kids are fine," and then launched into a lengthy description of what all of her kids were currently doing. She didn't say, "I'm fine." She didn't say, "I'm fine and my kids are fine." Not a single peep about herself. I understand having kids is a big deal, but if you have no time for yourself, if you allow your personality to be completely subsumed by your identity, it's not healthy for you, and it's not healthy for the kids. It's the same with social justice. If you were to ask somebody you know, tell me 3 of your personality traits, and their first 3 go-tos were black, gay, and furry, you may want to sit down and have a serious discussion with them about where their life is heading. Not because being black, gay, or a furry is bad. It's not. But because being the type of person that believes identity markers substitute for a well-developed personality is not only bad, it's self-destructive.
You're not integrating the specifics of your personal experience with what you've been taught to synthesize something that's genuine and surprising and engaging in a narrative sense as a consequence. And that's the pathology of ideological possession. It's not good. And it's not good that I know where you stand on things once I know a few things. It's like, why have a conversation? I already know where you stand on things.
I bet you don't know where I stand on all things.
I would hope that was true.